my PA, A Prisoner's Awakening. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. As always, hit those like, hit the subscribe. It helps the channel. Even if you don't like the content, hey, I appreciate a dislike as well. And as you could, let me get right to it, man. As you could tell by the good old caption, the thumbnail, Wack 100, the whole indictment with Big U, Adam 22, supposedly getting questioned slash raided by the feds and all this stuff, man. And not only that, just other platforms speaking on things and then wanting it both ways and finding out that they're wrong. So here we go, man. You guys know I'm on this channel, man. You guys know that I usually stick to my own personal stories, my experiences, my personal stories, things like that, hood stories, whatnot. But like eventually I have to start branching out to other things such as this. And so since this is a big topic right now, even though I know a lot of my viewers do not necessarily I would say they're not really interested in it. For those of you that are, that's why I'm doing this. So Big U recap got indicted, on a RICO act. He wasn't the main one on the complaint, but he is in there with the dozen dudes, and they got snatched up. Big U got snatched up for extorting dudes. The whole check-in policy. If you don't check in, we can't guarantee your safety. But if you pay a fee, you'll be safe. That type of stuff. He was doing this to sports figures, rappers, what have you, right? So this is what's going on, man. Wack 100, man. I seen a podcast with them. He went on a podcast and was talking about how he's pretty much criticizing everybody that was on No Jumper running their mouths. Pretty much everybody's criticizing No Jumper, Adam 22, for asking certain questions, Poetic Flacco, things like that, calling them squares. They're regular cats. They're not gang members, but they're asking certain questions. Now, first and foremost, for me, if you're on a podcast, you claim to be from Rolling 60s or anywhere. It doesn't matter where you're from. And you get asked a certain question as far as, hey, tell me about the shootings that you've done in your life. Have you ever killed anybody? How many robberies have you committed? When's the last time you robbed somebody or killed? You would have to be the dumbest individual in the world for you to actually answer that. Whether you did something or not, bro, you don't even have to be a gang member. You don't even have to be from the streets to be dumb. Let's just say you're a regular civilian and you hire somebody to kill somebody for you, one of your coworkers, because you didn't like him or whatnot, for insurance money, what have you. It doesn't matter what it is. You have to be dumb to answer a question like that on a podcast that has millions of subscribers, hundreds of thousands of views on any given day, live. Like, what? Are you serious? And we're supposed to be dealing with active gang members. Bricc Baby, Luce Cannon, Wack 100. And we'll say he was in the podcast talking to. He was on the podcast. I seen a few of them where he's just like, oh shit, oh shit. But it was more of a reaction, everything on this part. The other dudes were the ones really pretty much putting things out there that was crazy to put out there. Crazy. And you got these other podcasters, these other YouTube channels, the bigger than my channel, of course. And they're talking about how Adam 22, I don't know if he really got raided or not. I don't believe it. Anything's possible. Yeah, they want it both ways. Both ways. Now, we all heard about Bricc Baby, supposedly getting hit in prison, right? I heard a certain Hispanic that a channel that said that he got hit and whatnot, and he jumped the gun, did a whole video on it, but still mentioned that, hey, who knows if it's true or not, while believing it was true. Why do dudes do this? Because they want to get views. They want to get views and then they mess around and find out that that wasn't the case. And now that you hear certain individuals call into a channel, Bricc Baby's girl, and then Bricc Baby calling into No Jumper saying that he's okay, nothing happened, I'm good, I'm straight, what's up, I'm good. Now, like, oh, remember what I said? Remember what I said? I said it's a possibility that it didn't happen. No, man. The thing is that these dudes want to jump the gun and literally want to speak of something before they even know the truth, bro. Like they're like, if this is not cloud chasing, I don't know what is, you know. And I'm not saying that I'm not trying. I have a content channel with content because I'm trying to grind. I'm trying to get some content out there and things like that, subscribers, things like that. Nothing wrong with that. But the cloud chasing comes in when you jump the gun without knowing the truth and you just assume things. You assume things without knowing the facts because you want to be first. That's why I would say I'd rather be last and be right than be first and be wrong. Period. And just like other channels, want to throw rocks out there as well, as far as like any prison deaths and things like that. They hate on other channels because other channels, for instance, me, I've put out there recently. I was the first one, I guess, to put out the most recent murder in Wasco. And I didn't do that for competition or nothing. I just pretty much gave the basics. I was just like, to give you an example, old boy got killed in Wasco, got hit by 2 assailants. That was it. Could I have stepped back and did my homework and all that as far as who he is and all that? Of course I could have, but I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Unless somebody contacts me and says, even after, cool. All right, you guys want to put the story out there? I'll keep it brief. Why not? But until then, I seen some breaking news. I seen a convict getting murdered in Wasco, and I put it out there. And you got other channels, unfortunately, that they're in competition. Business is pretty much the epitome of competition, right? And YouTube channels being a form of business, meaning, there's a lucrative aspect to it. People make money. Everybody wants to break news and things like that. But it's crazy when dudes start acting like journalists and they want to break things first and then criticize. And when they don't break it first, they criticize other channels for breaking it first and then claiming that, oh, I don't ever break the news first because I wait to give details. You can break it first and then give details after. My only issue is don't try to break something first and be wrong about it. It's okay. It's okay to break news or to wait and whatnot. Everybody's going to watch it. Whether it's 10 channels that do it or not, people that rock with you, no matter what, they're going to watch you and other channels. So all that envy and jealousy and hating, bro, you could do all that all day, but get it right. Get it right at least. Don't come out here and speculate how Bricc Baby got hit and this and that is crazy, and then flip the script. Oh, I never believed it. I said it was possible, but and it takes old boy's girl, unfortunately. So the crazy part is that this is what these families have to go through. This is my biggest point as well. Imagine being Bricc Baby or his girl and having to hear from a YouTube channel that your man's got hit. Imagine how worried you would be. Dudes that are going off a rumor that later on being dispelled. Just like I said, just because they want to be the first ones to break some news. And then they end up looking like jackasses. So in the future, if you ever hear somebody say like, hey, this happened, babe, I could be wrong. Nah, don't give them that dude a pass. Like, don't say nothing until you're sure. Do not speak on something until you're sure, period. Whether you be an ex-gang member, a gang member, a civilian, it doesn't matter. Now everybody wants to give Adam 22 some shit about him being a snitch or a fucking federal informant or working with the feds or not. Bro, this dude is a regular cat, does porn. The dude has Look, I'm not trying to criticize porn stars or anything like that, but anybody that is to that extent, male, female, doesn't matter. Hey, more power to you if that's what you want to do with your life. But morally, as far as what kind of scruples you have, moral constitution and whatnot, are you really surprised that this dude would cooperate with the feds? I'm not saying he is or not. I'm just saying, like, would you really be surprised? And put on top of that, this dude is a regular white cat with a podcast, a big podcast that everybody hates on. I never hated on that dude to that extent, but everybody that I see hating on this cat, in my opinion, is just jealous. And why and how are they trying to attack him? Oh, No Jumper is the informant channel. No Jumper, you want to get caught up by the feds, go to No Jumper. Bro, No Jumper is a podcast. He's going to ask questions. He's going to ask questions. I'm not excusing snitching or anything like that. I've never done that a day in my life. But if you're stupid enough to go on No Jumper, whether it be any of his employees that do lives and ask questions and things like that, if you're stupid enough to go on there and divulge something that will get you in a detrimental situation, and you haven't even had the fortitude in your mind to contemplate that possibility, that's on you. That's on you. You claim to be from the streets. You claim to be a real one. You claim to have some real juice in the streets. Hey, maybe you do have some real juice in the streets. That doesn't mean you're not stupid. You know, some dudes, see, this is the thing with the feds. They're sleepers. They're sleepers, bro. They wait years to build a case. And the more you talk, the more people talk, they feel comfortable. Like, oh, I said this. Nothing happened. I said this, nothing happened. A year later, I said this, nothing happened. 2 years later, I said this, nothing happened. This is a 5-year operation. They get comfortable. They get comfortable. And honestly, like, it's on them. It's on them. It's like me going on No Jumper and then calling him a snitch for asking me a question that I answered. No, bro, the burden falls on you. You're the one that decided to answer that question. And I know there's been other cats on No Jumper that have been asked the question and did not answer that question. They had that wisdom, premature wisdom, precociousness, what have you. But they had that wisdom and they did not answer the question. That's why they don't find themselves in the middle of a RICO indictment. Now, Wack 100. Wack 100 is the same character that he's always going to be. He has a big mouth. He loves listening to himself talk. I heard him on a certain podcast. A dude was trying to ask him a question on live videos. And all Wack 100 was pretty much trying to say is that why would the feds ask Adam 22 for footage when all his footage is lives? Yeah, he uploads videos, but those are clips off his lives. The dude is a live monster. He does nothing but lives. Why would the feds go to Adam 22 and ask him for all his footages when he does everything live? It's right there and there, right then and there. It's in the public. You cannot stop a live in the middle of a live, edit it, and then keep going. You can't do that. I mean, you could stop a live and then start a whole nother live over, but they're gonna know that. But they're still gonna have a section that you canceled, that live that you ended, and they're still gonna have the live that you started. And the host was just like, "No, that's not what I'm saying." It's just crazy to me listening to it, because it's like, if for once in his life, Wack 100 was actually right. All of Adam 22's content is live. They do lives, bro. You know, why would they push up on them? By the same token, why would they push up on them, the feds, right? For those of you that may not believe it. At this point, I'm speculating. I'm just trying to use my common sense. Everything's on lives. Everything's out there, right? Why would they want to question Adam 22? Is he just saying that because he's trying to get some views? He's trying to be caught up in the controversy, clout chase on this RICO case or whatnot. Maybe, maybe not. And I listen to what I just did right there when I warned you about. Except in this case, the feds could actually, it's plausible that they hit him for questions and things like that on private conversations, on conversations that he had in the green room and after. I can't even understand how people would not even contemplate that. Adam 22 may have spoken to all these cats that went on to do a live. Maybe they rehearsed. Maybe he gave him a list of questions he was going to ask. Maybe he said something. Maybe they said something to Adam 22 when he's like, hey, I'm going to ask you this and that. And that dude told him, hey, oh, well, I'm going to answer this, but I can't answer that. The feds are going to ask you shit no matter what. Looking at your videos and your lives does not suffice. It's not enough for the feds. A proper detective and investigator is going to go deeper, as deep as possible. No pun intended. And they're going to ask anything and everything, especially the things that were said off of camera. Because because a gang of shit was said on camera doesn't mean that they're going to leave all whatever stones and rocks are left unturned. They're not going to leave them unturned. They're going to flip them over and they're going to see whatever worms are in there and get the truth, squeeze the truth out of them. You know, so it's just the lack of imagination for these cats that are claiming that, not claiming, but that have done time, decades in prison, X amount of time in prison, whatnot, that claim that they're experts or they know it all and things like that. I'm not an expert. I'm just using logic. I'm just using my common sense. And we're not going to know until we know. That sounds pretty basic and obvious, right? And what I mean by that is that when the paperwork comes out, the trial comes out, the transcripts comes out, we're going to know who's who and who said what and who didn't say what. So all this speculation right now, to a certain point, on the dudes that are speculating, it really is no different than you being a witness in that fucking case. You know, like to a certain extent, you know, not once have I heard allegedly from cats, you know, and so whatever Adam 22 may be guilty of, that dude is a civilian, bro. He's a citizen. He's a civilian. Like I said, I'm not excusing snitching and cooperation. I'm just saying, like, will anybody really be surprised if this dude cooperates? Whether you feel like this dude pretends to be innocent, like, oh, I've never been through that lifestyle. How is this lifestyle? And he proceeds to ask very, very detrimental questions that put motherfuckers in a very uncomfortable position when it comes to the legal system. Bro, whether he's just playing the part or not, it doesn't matter. The dude is not a gang member. He's not part of no organization. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That dude's a freaking porn star, bro. The dude's a porn dude that does porn with his wife, pimps out his wife to other fucking porn stars. Like, are you serious? You're trying to hold this dude to that high standard when the dude, just because he has a big ass podcast, that you're gonna be surprised or disappointed? Come on, man, get it together. But yeah, man. And with all this, wrapping it up one more time, I know this is a big topic right now and everything. And I'm just looking at it and it's just like, damn, like listening to all these cats. I had to add my two pennies. I had to add my 2 pennies real quick because I just see so many freaking holes in their stories and things that they didn't mention that they should know. That's common sense. And I'm not saying I'm smarter than anybody. Sometimes people forget to mention some shit. I'm not saying that they don't know this, but hey, at least I filled in those little gaps. Until then, until next time, appreciate you guys tapping in. Hit the like, hit the subscribe if you felt like you liked this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. I got plenty of videos coming. Love you guys.